a couple specials though. But we're gonna move into number 2, which is our demo with Rebecca. And also, since it's usually an interview on Fridays, Friday with Friends, we're gonna get to know. She's on the hot seat.
Oh, fantastic.
Which means we're going to trade seats and you're going to move forward. Are we moving anywhere? Are we just going to...
We're gonna stay here because
Hang
my
out right
computer's
here.
almost dead. But she is gonna demo
Okay.
one of her favorite products.
So just,
right?
Yes.
moving a little closer there, Rebecca.
Scoot up.
Okay, guys, I'm ready.
I'll scoot my butt back.
No, this is so
Sideways.
Yes, let's all sit like we're taking the picture. There we go. Now lean in.
I don't want to do that. I look better from the front.
I'm telling you, I don't love it at
I
all.
can angle it though. So wrong way.
Nah.
went the wrong
Not so
way.
much that way.
No.
Anyway,
Welcome.
you already stitched your game night? Well, that's cheating, Julianne, but I can understand the excitement. If you know what you're doing, you might as well. Okay, so this is Rebecca. How long have you been working with this?
Just almost a year.
Like right at,
Feels like a lifetime, huh? Like you
was it
never
May
didn't
or
work
June
here.
that you? It was right when we
It was-
opened back up.
Yeah. So I graduated from college in May of last year, and then I started here right after
So
that.
really,
I
you're
didn't
like
know you did that.
24, right?
I did, yes. I'm actually quite young.
What'd you graduate in?
General studies, because I had done school like a long time ago, and then I was just like, let's just finish that puppy up. So it was general studies.
I have like 15 credits left.
Oh, you should do it.
I don't want
Yeah, I have a whole 2 years.
I'm not what you would call scholastic.
I'm not so much either, but I was like, I live here, and my husband works for the university, so I got half price tuition.
I know that does help.
Yeah,
Yes, it does.
so much.
Yes,
Although it was
does.
like cheaper than half price back when we went to school originally. So
So I just decided to knock it out, and
Get her done.
I kind of
done.
want to go up there next year with Holden just to like mortify him. Wouldn't that be amazing?
let's take classes together.
Be like,
Where's
Holden, what
Holden going?
classes are you in? He's going to Utah State. So
Okay.
Oh, good. He did decide.
he did decide. Yeah, he wanted to go out of state, but I think the pandemic kind of scared him off. So anyway, that's too much about me. We're talking about you.
Okay.
Okay, so Teresa Johnson wants to know how many countries you've lived in.
I've only lived in 2 countries, but I've visited a lot of countries. I've only lived in the United States and Germany. My husband
Auf
is
Deutsch.
Auf Deutsch, Deutschland.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Bitte. My husband he's actually retiring, but he's active duty Air Force, and we were stationed in Germany for 4 years. So we lived
You
there.
lived in a lot of states.
Actually, no. I'm surprisingly boring.
For a military wife.
Yeah, he always made it our...
You've lived in a lot of, like, more than 2.
Okay, I've lived in Utah, Colorado, California, and North Dakota.
All right. Same
That's
here.
4.
Except for North Dakota, I was in Georgia. Which is nothing even near North
I
Dakota.
only have 2.
Yeah?
Wow.
Utah and
Oregon.
Oregon.
Oh, I would love to live in Oregon.
It was really pretty.
So North Dakota has my
North
favorite.
Dakota.
They have my favorite accent. That whole region of the country. I just adore that accent.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Try it.
No.
I don't know if I would know a North Dakotian
I
accent.
can, well, what's funny is I watched, like, I'm going to admit something here. I watched The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
There's a Real Housewives of Salt Lake.
Oh, yeah, and it's
Really?
gold.
Wowzers.
But there's a lady from Chicago, and she reminds me of Lynn Geldmeyer. She talks just like you. Anyway, I was like, I know that accent because I know where Lynn's from.
Uh-huh. I love that's one thing I do love about having everybody across the country. I like everybody's accents. They're kind of fun.
Oh yeah.
Ute wants to know where in Germany.
We lived by Kaiserslautern, which the Air Force base there is Ramstein, but he actually was stationed at a army base called
Auf
Kleber.
Deutsch.
Kleber Kaserne.
Kleber Kaserne. Nice. Sandy, I was in Beaverton. My husband worked downtown in Portland, so
Cool.
yeah, I got shipped off to PDX for a little while. Hi, Larry. We see that you just joined us. We missed you. Okay, so countries, states. What is the most? I don't know.
I got a dog in Germany.
Did you have to quarantine it when you brought it back?
I did not, because that was prior to.
That was pre-pandemic.
Quarantining.
No, that doesn't have anything to do with the pandemic. Don't some countries, like if you take a dog overseas, you
I
have
think
to.
so.
Oh, you mean this is something that has nothing to do with the pandemic?
Right.
Quarantining dogs?
So
Quarantining, yeah, is universal.
He went from an Air Force base to
So you're
an Air
okay.
Force base, so I think maybe they were like, oh, Air
You get
Force germs.
special, yeah. I just know some friends were gonna move somewhere and they had to like keep their dog in a kennel for a month or two.
Yeah,
Oh,
that would have been
That's
sad.
weird.
Yeah.
Jay says she grew up an hour from there. In
Oh, that's
Germany.
awesome.
That is really cool. Yay.
That's great.
nice.
So,
Yes.
What got you started in quilting? How long have you been quilting?
Well, my grandma taught me when I was really young, and I remember being underneath the quilt frame and pushing the needle back.
Oh
up
yeah,
Oh,
through.
yeah.
I totally did that.
oh yeah. In fact, it was
And-
more fun to hang out underneath
Yeah.
than it was to actually do the quilting.
And she taught me to do hand stitching, and she was very particular about how many stitches per inch, and I'm just not great at that.
Says the girl that weighs her fabric.
That was something different.
Okay.
Entirely. That was a whole different reason. But then I didn't really get back into quilting when when we lived in North Dakota, and they say I'm not going to say that. Okay, I'll say it. The only things you can grow in North Dakota are colder, older, and fatter.
Colder, older, and fatter.
And so we had really long winters, and but I adored living there, and I just started quilting a ton there, and my passion bloomed.
No, I started in Portland, really. Like I'd done a few things, but then I had kids and no friends, so
Oh, that always helps.
Oh, that was me too.
I had a baby. Can't go
I
anywhere.
had to get into quilting after my kids were out of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then, yeah. Anyway.
What are your favorite types of quilts? Like what? I mean, I already know these answers, but I'm just asking them.
Okay.
Like, what's your favorite? Are you modern, traditional?
I am really, I think, eclectic in what I like. I think I find myself piecing more traditional quilts and using more traditional fabrics. But
Really?
do you think I don't?
I think you make traditional quilts with like a modern twist.
Okay.
Like
I'll take that. I
with,
like it.
with your fabric choices and what do you say?
I guess to some degree. I don't know, like the quilt behind me, I used a lot of solids and kind of some funky colors, and
I wouldn't call these traditional prints.
yeah, and that green one is not super traditional.
Yeah, her color theory is fun. How you put things together.
Where's Carolisa going?
Don't mind me. You just keep on going.
Okay. I don't know. I love color. I always think the saddest thing would be is if I lost my vision, because
Oh yeah.
I love to see.
And to be colorblind, that would be hard. I mean,
would
you
be
wouldn't
hard,
know
too.
any better, but Ken, Cindy's husband, is always like, I take pictures of stuff down by his desk, and he's like, "What color is that quilt?" Then I'll tell him, and he can only see like 4 of the colors. What are you doing?
I'm just going to sit over here.
Why is that?
You just keep on talking. I'm here.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
You'll
feels
just,
weird.
you'll just hear my voice from over
Oh,
here.
it's because she can't read the comments. from
No,
that
well,
far away.
and it's a little squishy on that couch. So I'm gonna be right here.
I taught Carolise about personal space on Wednesday. I was like, "You're really close."
So I
teasing.
just don't get too close to her. Whatever. Anyway,
I was the buffer.
what was that?
I was the buffer.
No, I'm okay. I'm fine side to side. I don't like people behind me. Do you get like that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I must be weird. Anyway,
No, you're probably just fine. Yeah.
I don't like people reading over my shoulder. I don't like people standing behind me.
And I was behind her with the stuff on Wednesday night, like holding it behind her so everybody could see.
No,
so
that was
I
fine.
spent the whole time just hanging out behind her. But anyway, let's go back to Rebecca.
Okay. So she is like one of our most amazing sample makers. Like,
If we need it
Thanks.
done,
I appreciate that.
I give her like a week and she's got it quilted or pieced, quilted, and bound. One time she took that 9th and Vine, that Corey Yoder quilt Jackie made.
Mm-hmm.
She took that home and had it hand bound in an hour.
Oh my gosh, no.
It seemed like it. 2 hours?
4.
4. How are your fingers?
They're fine. I have a little bit of a callus on my finger because I bind a lot, so it's not really.
My fingers hurt.
I'm sorry.
and is it machine binding or
No.
by hand? It's always
She's
by
a
hand.
teacher,
hand.
yeah.
Yep. Why?
I don't know because I don't know how to machine bind.
Okay, I was just curious to know what your thoughts were on that.
No, again, going back to what my grandma taught me. She taught me to machine or to hand bind, and so that's just what I grew up
You do.
knowing. And
Yeah.
so I don't know how to machine bind.
I learned from watching Barb.
Oh,
on the machine binding.
Mhm. You need an edge joining foot,
Mm-hmm.
and then you come out like a rock star.
nice. I'll have to look into
Yeah,
that.
it's not bad at
The
all.
stiletto and the so I like to hand bind the best, but when I'm
It
in a
definitely
hurry,
looks the best for sure.
I don't know. Sometimes if you got someone that's really good at machine bind, looks real
Well,
nice.
okay, not me.
Real nice. Hey, look, Lynn Geldmiter is in the house.
Hey, Lynn.
Betty Jo asked me if I have older brothers. I have a brother that is like 8 months older than me.
Oh, how?
He's a stepbrother. That was my mom's favorite joke. They got married when we were like 3. And she's like, people would say, "Are they twins?" "No, they're 8 months apart." And then she'd just walk off. We didn't look anything alike. And I was tiny and he was not. So it's kind of funny. Anyway, that's your answer, Betty Jo. Okay, so your grandma got you into it.
Yes. And she taught me like embroidery and crocheting and, you know, all of the good
You kind of love grandmas.
staples. I know. Yeah. I was heartbroken when she passed away, but
Yeah,
it happens.
it does. Like our first thing. We're okay with getting older, but our bodies are not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That happens. I feel like my body's a lot older than my mind. Do you feel like that?
I still
Yes,
think I'm 24.
because inside, my grandma said that to me one time. She says, I feel 19 inside. Then I look in the mirror and it's just not there.
It's not.
It's just
so
not
much
there.
19.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
know. I have a 21-year-old and I'm like, oh, we're the same age.
I know. I went to a track meet yesterday and like a bunch of kids. It was at my old high school. I knew a bunch of the parents and I was like, I swear we were just this age.
Yeah,
It's so weird.
it happens.
It does. Oh, my brother might be the reason I don't like people. Probably my brothers loved to jump out in front of me and scare me. And
Oh, that's great. So, tell us about your quilts.
Well, I just brought a couple of my favorite. The one behind me is called Meadowland, and it's by Then Came June, and it's one of my absolute favorite patterns because it looks good and it looks different in any fabric
any
that
color
you do.
combination.
Yeah, and so I don't know if you're familiar with the
Oh, come on over.
I've been waiting for you ladies.
Oh, sorry. You could have just told us. Let's see. You got to back
I
up.
wanted the kit, but she said you're out of them. You don't have them.
Well, I think Rebecca made this out of her stash.
I did. This
Oh,
was
wow.
just leftovers, not leftovers,
awesome.
but it's a really old
I have the
fabric
pattern.
window.
Then King June pattern.
Yeah, it's
Haven't
great.
made it up yet.
It looks great in a whole bunch of different fabrics.
Yeah, but I love the one you chose.
I know. She does a really good job.
Yeah, you do.
The thing I like about this is that I know a lot of people are afraid to use solids, and I think solids just really enhance a quilt.
Oh, yeah.
You
And so,
definitely out of pop.
Look, Debbie, come here.
And I like how you have added solids not in the same space of each block, but you've mixed them around differently in each different block. That's kind of
Yeah.
fun.
I would say sometimes the hardest part about quilting is
Thank you.
figuring out
You
where
bet.
everything goes.
yeah. So I like this pattern because she has really good instructions as to how to.
She has like a coloring page too.
Yeah,
doesn't
she does have a coloring page, but you just lay out your 3 colors per block and you mix them up
Here,
and.
let's snuggle.
You want to snuggle? Okay, perfect.
You want to
And
snuggle,
then-
Carolisa?
I brought
No,
another.
I want to be
quilt.
over here.
I've really made you self-conscious, haven't I?
No.
Okay, good. You just can't read the comments. What do you know
No.
about that?
So this one is.
Ooh, this
it's-
one's fun.
I love this one. It's a pattern called Shimmer. And it's by Cluck Cluck Sew. And the thing I like about this pattern, Is it is-
You did. You're a genius.
it's a lot easier than it looks. Like it looks like it's a complicated.
I
quilt
love
block,
those. I love those kind of quilts.
But honestly, it was so easy.
So break out the blocks for us.
Okay.
She's also the one that knocked out the Easter parade quilt in a week, so I don't know if I believe you when I say easy.
Tell us like how
Okay,
it's broken down.
So this is the block right here. So you've got your half square triangles, and then you have you just have your, it's like a 1.5 by 3.5, I think, and then you do corner square triangles on them, and you just,
Okay.
it's just so easy.
Okay.
And then you just have your big piece in the middle.
It's cute. I remember
Thanks.
this line when it came in.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was either, and then I just added.
It's a Riley Blake.
It is a Riley Blake, like vintage. Vintage picnic. That's what it was. And then
way
I just
cute.
added a whole bunch of other fabrics to it.
Because she's brave that way. She is confident in her
I got
choices.
it. This one's my favorite. Look at how cute this little plaid and yellow. It's like
I was gonna say I love that one.
sunflower sunshine.
Yeah.
And then my last quilt that I brought.
Okay, I'll give you a traditional on this one.
Yeah, this one's super traditional, but this is like a super duper old Modaline. Like,
Okay, but I
probably
love this
15
one.
years ago.
This is the Jacobian
It's
stuff I
probably
was talking
still
about.
like,
It's
is
called-
it mimicking,
Oh,
or is this French General?
No, it's not French General. It's called Pashmina is the line that it's called.
Interesting.
And I had it for a lot of years. I actually only made this one like a year ago.
You can unplug. I think I got enough juice in there now.
And Jenny knows I'm a sucker for an Ohio Star.
Yes, you are.
That was like my favorite quilt block. And this is an Ohio Star. And I didn't really use a pattern on this one.
You didn't.
I didn't. I just knew how much fabric I had, and I just started sewing
Just
them.
made the block.
And then I thought, okay, I'm just gonna put some sashing in there, and I went with a really traditional feather quilting on it. So that is.
Those are beautiful.
Should we wander around the store and you can be like, I made this one.
No.
We're gonna do it anyways. Yep. Okay.
Okay.
She made that one.
Okay.
Actually, okay.
Turn. No, that ugly little one's mine.
No,
This one.
I made this one. That's called chamomile. It's one of my favorite quilt patterns.
Hey, Kyle.
By Woodbury Way, right?
Yeah, by Woodbury Way.
Cool.
And I made this one. This was for comments sold.
So if you guys got your hands on the is it Cascade?
It's Cascade
Cluck,
by
Cluck,
Cluck
Sew?
Cluck Sew.
And it looks like you've got Tula Pink.
Yes, of course, Tula Pink.
Those are
love.
so fun. So fun.
And then I made Clover in a couple different renditions, but this is Cluck Cluck Sew also. And we have another one that I made up front in a different colorway.
See, this is what I'm talking about. She's awesome. I need a sample, and I'm like, Rebecca.
And then this is the one that I weighed the fabric on because
This is-
there were
Oh, yes.
This is
were-
a Kyle quilt.
This is the Kyle and Rebecca quilt.
yeah, because there were like 1,800 little pieces, and I'm too lazy to count that many pieces. So what I did was I counted out 100, and then I weighed those 100 pieces, and I'm like, okay, so it's about this many grams, and I just measured out the grams, and it was surprisingly accurate.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is one of my favorite quilts.
love it, too.
Yeah, way fun.
There's more.
Okay.
Keep going.
Gracious.
Getting a little tour of the shop too.
Well, I just don't want to make
Rebecca-
any of you dizzy.
Rebecca does our decorating here, and so
Yeah,
if you think the shop looks cute, give her a shout out.
right?
Although Cara Lisa made this floral arrangement, and it's glorious.
Oh, well.
That is pretty. That's better than my I found 4 silks in the basement and just stuck them in and called it good.
All right, what are we looking at here?
Okay,
No,
of these.
I didn't make any of those.
this one.
Yeah, I did make this one. This is another Clover, and it's just a cute, colorful one.
Oh, it's pink.
Yeah, it's pinned.
This is kind of tricky because we've got lighting that's refocusing, so give us just a moment here.
Oh, come on in. Welcome.
So, same thing, bigger quilt,
And I think you made this table runner, didn't you?
cool fabrics. Which one?
This one. Your mom quilted it.
Your mom did an amazing job quilting it.
Can you see that?
See you later.
All right.
That's it.
How are we doing?
Oh, hi.
All right, ladies, where are we headed?
Back. Oh, well, Rebecca's gonna demo one of her favorite tools. Okay.
Oh, the one I stole. Sorry. I thought of all the chairs to steal.
So our number 3 today is, and I'll probably, if we don't have these patterns loaded, I know we have them at the warehouse, I'll get them loaded on and tag them with deal of the day. And if we have any of the
With the
kits
patterns
left,
we just showed.
okay, because I'm pretty sure we have all of them.
Okay.
So I did put the Meadowland one on, but I forgot about the other ones.
Okay.
Okay,
So this is my favorite. This is one of the things that I use to save a lot of time. It's called the diagonal seam tape, and it's also by Cluck Cluck Sew. And you have a black line on the right
Sorry.
and the left. It's okay. You're perfect.
trying to
And then
find
it
something to
has
rest my arm on.
It
There
has
we
a
go.
red line down the center, and that's what you're going to line up with your needle. So I have some on the machine here. If you can,
What machine are you sewing on?
this is the
you see that?
5300 QDC. It's
Nice.
made by Janome, and
It's a newer one.
It's a fun little machine. Okay.
I actually demoed this in my class yesterday. So if you were in my
Nice.
class yesterday,
Oh, the diagonal seam tape?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you line the red line up with your needle. And then what I do, instead of marking all my little pieces,
is there a trick to getting it straight on there?
I don't know. This one had
Marks on the
marks
table.
on the table, so I just lined it up with the marks.
I've used like a ruler against my
yeah,
foot.
that's what I've done also.
sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. So the way the diagonal seam tape works is instead of doing all of your diagonal lines on the back,
Which
is,
we all just do not love to do.
no, it's not my favorite.
Don't have to draw.
So I'm going to line this corner up with my needle, the top part of the red line. And then I'm going to just follow the red line with my bottom corner.
Can you see where that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, my hand's in the way. And you just follow it, and I've done it on some of the other ones. You just have your perfect little corner to flip back, and you don't have to mark them all. So diagonal seam tape, a huge time saver.
And you do not clip.
Sometimes
this,
I do.
right?
It depends. It depends on how small the piece is. If it's a really small piece, like where you've got, oh man, some of the Lori Holt blocks where you're working with like an inch piece, I'll just fold this back and I'll leave the behind for some stability. But most of the time I do. Like I would clip off this size.
I usually clip everything.
Yeah. Do you even on the teeny tiny pieces?
See, and on these now, I've been doing the mini folded
I
corner
avoid
ruler.
the
Oh, I don't
teeny-
know how that one works.
Well, stay tuned next week. We're
Next
gonna
week,
show
we'll show you how to use the
Fantastic.
mini folded. It's on something like these little snowball corners.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I love it.
Good.
A couple other things about this washi tape. What's nice is it does not gum up,
It doesn't.
thing when
Yeah,
you take
it
it
doesn't
off.
leave any residue.
Oh, cool.
and it's removable, and it comes in a whole
A
line.
whole
So
roll.
as you sew, it is going to
Where?
Peel
Where?
a little bit.
yeah and peel. So it's super cheap. Just pull it off, get another piece.
So for those of you who can't afford those fun machines with guide beams, this is your next second best option for a
Exactly.
guide beam.
And I've done the ones where you stick on there, but they're such a pain in the butt to get your bobbins in and out. And
I like this better than even a guide that you would use right here, where you could put your fabric up, because you do have, I mean, that's what gives you the diagonal option.
and you can make it go as long as you want.
Exactly.
Anyway, so that's our
Give
demo.
us some other tips on how you go fast.
Yeah, what makes you go so fast? Hang on, I'm gonna see if there's any questions.
Well, one other thing I like about this, the diagonal seam tape, is it helps me sew a scant 1/4 inch. And what a scant 1/4 inch means is just you're sewing slightly smaller than a full 1/4 inch seam. And what I do is when I put my fabric down, I just make sure that I can see the whole black line rather than covering up any of it.
And
so
that's your scant.
that's my scant.
Cool.
And it works. It just eases into each pattern or each piece a little better. Let's see. So my other tip that I do that makes me quilt even faster is I chain piece everything, and that means you don't cut in between each piece. And so I'll read through my pattern and I'll say, okay, I can chain piece this section, I can chain piece this section, and I'll just go through and chain piece the whole thing. And because some people, instead of taking it off my machine and then doing the second piece and then doing the third piece and then doing the fourth piece, I'll go through and do piece number 1 on all of my pieces, and then I'll cut them all, and then I'll go through and do piece number 2 on all of them.
So do you just stack things beforehand so that they stay in order? Like, how do you keep them? I mean, in this case, it wouldn't make any difference, but
Yeah.
in something that you do.
Louder.
Okay.
So when I do something with a whole bunch of little pieces, and if they're all the same, I honestly just throw them in a kitchen bowl, and I have them. I have them right there at the ready. But if it's several pieces, if I have like there might be multiple colors of the piece that I have to put together, I'll just lay
Right.
them out on my table right by me, and then I'll just grab
And then
two.
just grab from there.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
just try to keep it as organized as possible, and that helps me be able to chain faster.
Do you like press? Like I'll get my little pressing table and go sit on my couch and press for hours. Sometimes when I have half square triangles and
Oh,
trim and
Yeah. When do you throw the pressing in?
when do I throw the
Do
pressing
you
in?
press after every step?
I do.
horse.
And
you see her stuff.
I'm just for anybody out there who does.
So what I use is
Always press.
yes.
It makes all the difference in the world.
I like a lot of steam and a lot of starch, and so I starch and steam all of my pieces, and so they're like cardboard. No, they're not that bad.
That helps you be more accurate.
It
right,
does.
with your
It does
piecing?
help me to be more accurate when I'm piecing to starch and to press everything.
Yeah. Cool.